Sometimes I feel like I'm rushing, whether it be earnestly trying to find an imposter in Among Us or committing to things that I knew in the back of my head I wasn't ready to do. Sometimes I feel like I am stumbling or falling, and sometimes I don't want to get back up. However, it's almost always impossible to stay down forever. Progression is something that's drilled into humans, and as a species, we want to pick ourselves back up. We want to tackle that challenge over and over again until we overcome it finally, and we want to outlast any challenge that's put in our way. I've played a lot of games in my day. Some of them mesh into the background of my mind, and some of them are a bit more memorable, and then there are some that have been straight up life changing. My favorite games as of now are Breath of the Wild, Katana Zero, and Minecraft. They're very different in their message, how you play them, and also how they appeal to me, but they all share one thing in common. You can never really play them for the first time again. Sure, both of them have their own independent replay value, but the first experience I had with games like these were magical, and I'll never be able to live them again. I remember playing Breath of the Wild for hours on end, it being an open world game with so many things to do. I remember clearly just going around for hours, just looking for quests to do and shrines to finish and enemies to beat. I did most of the side quests. I learned so many different recipes that even now, after finishing it for so long, they still reside in my head. I think the beauty of Breath of the Wild lies in its ability to make you feel like the world is alive. There's always something to do and issues that people deal with that don't have anything to do with Link. There could be, say, a fisherman who lost his raft. Anyone could have found that raft for him, to be honest. You just happened to arrive at the right place, at the right time. I almost refused to beat Ganon. Breath of the Wild was one of the first games I played without any sort of spoilers whatsoever, and I didn't know how hard the final boss was. I just knew what I needed to do in order to beat him. I did all the side content as preparation, but now that I reflect on it, I think I was doing a lot more preserving. I didn't want the game to end. As long as I never beat the final boss, there would always be something else to do. Completing a quest would give me this item, which would be useful for such and such, but oh no, I've used up that item, so I guess I have to grind more in order to replace what it did. The game always felt fresh as long as I wasn't done with it yet. As long as I didn't beat the final boss, there was always a goal to work towards, and I think that's why I liked it so much. However, I pressured myself into beating the game prematurely, before I even discovered the tower for the Tabantha region. Going back to that region and unlocking it after that felt almost pointless. I already beat the game. This doesn't mean as much anymore. I really regret doing that, and if I could go back in time without any memory, I would complete the game, experiencing everything I could while it still meant something to me. I want to play Breath of the Wild for the first time again. I want to be the same wide-eyed guy who watched the towers sprout all over the world and put balls into holes in order to do shrines. I want to go back to the first shrine I ever did and solve the same puzzles and feel that extreme feeling of accomplishment whenever I finished it. I want to travel through the lost woods, getting lost and only be able to get through by trial and error and the dim light of my torch. I want the Hyrule Castle to be this mysterious, dangerous area and not just where the final boss is. Breath of the Wild excelled at making me feel like I was uncovering an ancient world. It functioned while Link was still asleep, and it's still functioning around him now, rather than him being at the epicenter of all that happens. He's the hero destined to stop Calamity Ganon, but he could also be someone destined to bake a cake to restore a child to her usual cheerful self. This uncovering can only go so far, though. 100%ing the game felt satisfying, but in a way it emptied me out. There's nothing more in Breath of the Wild to discover. I've done everything that I could. This thought bothered me at first, but then I started reflecting on what I did. I stopped Ganon. I helped everyone who needed my help. I uncovered every single ancient secret, every single corner of every single room, and these were the experiences that I gained. They all meant something to me, and they would be infinitely less valuable if they ever ended. You can't have a river with no ocean. You can't have a cake with no bottom. It becomes second nature then, brainless, and therefore less valuable. The cake is valuable because it can be finished. A game is valuable because you can only savor it for so long.
Katana Zero is a game where its replayability is essentially infinite. The main gimmick in that game is how things seem to be repeating in this strange loop that's completely under your control. Katana Zero is a game completely shrouded by mysteries, and I don't really think I understood the lore completely until I found some secrets and played through it a couple of times. It derives its replayability from you being more skillful about how to approach things, and your reaction times get faster. You begin to deflect bullets more consistently. However, I feel like the reason I played it at first, and the reason I kept playing it enough in order to replay it, was the sense of mystery locked behind its layered lore. You probably understood that Chronos was how you kept replaying events and winning, and you could probably also gather that it wasn't good for you. But there's a certain magical element to playing it again and discovering something new. Maybe on your second playthrough you notice the smaller things, like how the hallucinations only happen on days where you skipped out on Chronos, and how the glitches that happen sometimes take you far, far into the future. I played Katana Zero when I was in a rough spot in life. I kept trying to tackle an enormous amount of tasks at once, and I always felt like I was running out of time. I remember clearly the first time I played the game, unfamiliar with its death and replay system, and discovered that, oh, I didn't actually do that. Katana Zero is a fast-paced game, but somehow it taught me to take it slowly. There was always time to redo things. You could always improve, discover more, and do more. Even with the game's message about how time is repeating is a curse and that you will inevitably run out of time, it doesn't feel as much as a looming threat than it does as a reminder. You will run out of time. Do everything you can before that happens. In a way, it centers you, brings you back to the present. I'm gonna die eventually. I have no gripes with that. Maybe it could be tomorrow. Maybe it could be several minutes from now. All that matters is that I did what I enjoyed before that time ran out. That I did things that mattered to me when I still had the time to do it. In a funny twist, this time can really only run out for me. The world will continue functioning without my presence. And I'm the only one that needs to be concerned about my own life.
You probably think that the only reason I like Minecraft was because I played it when I was a child and the nostalgia is probably hitting me now. And while that may be part of it, I think that I've always valued Minecraft as a memory and as a game. Minecraft's replayability is quite literally infinite. Each world is new, no two seeds are completely the same. Playing Minecraft again should always feel fresh, right? To quote one of my main inspirations,
Well, for me, Minecraft is not knowing how to play Minecraft. It's generating that first world and thinking to yourself, what next? It's standing in awe at the foot of a massive ravine. Minecraft is that dirt hut you built on the first night. The memories I cherish most from this game are from when I had no idea what I was doing. They're from when the game was simple. And I guess from when my life was simple, too.
Jay Schlatt painted the image of Minecraft perfectly. In a way, it's another game centered around discovery. It's figuring out that you can make a torch using coal and a stick. It's that feeling of taking a deep breath out after finishing your house. Minecraft isn't exactly a game that you can replay for the first time either. Sit there and think. When was the last time you loaded up a single-player survival world and just experienced Minecraft for what it offered you? The magic in Minecraft relies on its unique property of being a game where you can literally do anything. You don't have to punch a tree right away after loading into a world. You could run off chasing a rabbit before falling into a ditch and dying, but the respawn button would always be there for you. You would get another chance to experience Minecraft. Let's say this time when you spawn in, the way you play changes. You would know better than to chase that rabbit now, and maybe you'll finally punch a tree and get that first log of wood. And then the magic is over. After I discovered how to play Minecraft, I never deviated again. I played the game how it was meant to be played. I loaded up a world, I punched wood, and I never ended up chasing that rabbit again. The magic was lost there for me. Sometimes I forget that games are a hobby. Sometimes I forget to play them for fun and instead always consider the utility instead of whether or not it can be used for enjoyment. Remember when you first discovered creative mode in Minecraft? How the most mind-numbing fun thing you could do was place down an obnoxious amount of TNT and watch your screen freeze as the game tries to render all of it exploding at once? Minecraft used to be a game about how stupidly simplistic the game was. Now, I don't think I could play a single-player survival world again and find the same value in it that I did before. I can't really explain why without repeating the things that I've already said before. There's literally just no more to discover in Minecraft. The immense feeling of satisfaction when you progressed isn't there anymore. Now I just play it in multiplayer, and it's been a while since I played the game for just how it's meant to be played. So that brings up the question. How is Minecraft meant to be played? For me, Minecraft is a game that's meant to be shared. It's a game that built up its popularity from the fandom. It's logging in together with your brother on a Saturday evening and just building a really bad house together because you don't know how to make good houses yet. It's enjoying the game for what's within it. Minecraft is meant to be the game where you look up recipes online and ask for people to help you with how to learn how to play Minecraft. It's introducing yourself to something new, to new people. Minecraft is a game that brings people together, and even if it isn't a game completely centered around discovery, one of my fondest memories of Minecraft come from watching videos of people playing Minecraft. I wish I didn't know how to play Minecraft. I wish I could play Minecraft again. I know that these games don't really mean the same thing to other people as they do to me. However, I feel like even if you aren't a gamer or haven't played many games that made you experience feelings like this, you can still understand the feeling of never being able to experience something for the first time again. Whether it be an amazing TV show that you just finished or taking the first step in pursuing a passion. The first moments you spend with these things are your most magical because you're going in blind. You don't know what you're doing and yet you push forward. I think that's why video games are so important to people and why all of our memories of them should be cherished.